Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Science rules.
Hi, I'm Bill Nye.
Hi, I'm Jill Nye, Bill's twin.
And I'm Belle Nye. Today we're going to talk about Placozoa.
So I'm going to be talking about the basic biology of the Placozoa. So it's about 3 milliliters long, it's transparent, it's flat, and it's round. And there are two main sides to it. So the top side, the dorsal side, has got these cover cells. They're ciliated for movement, and they're also flattened so that it's like it can stick onto surfaces. And the bottom side is the ventral side. It's got these column-shaped cylinder cells. There are cilia cells and there are gland cells as well to help it with other functions. And in between these two cells, in between these two layers, you'll find that there are these star-shaped fiber cells, and they're star-shaped because they're connected to one another. This allows transfers of things like microtubules, and it creates a network within the cell that we think helps it process stimuli.
Within the Placozoa taxa, there are two species, the Trichoplax adherens, which are more prominent, and the Treptoplax reptans, which haven't been observed since 1896.
In terms of Placozoa habitat, they can be found in intertidal zones with calm water and lots of hard textured rocks. They typically favor tropical and subtropical climates. They can be found in the Bermudas, the Caribbean Sea, Eastern Australia, the Great Barrier Reef, Guam, Hawaii, Japan, the Mediterranean Sea, Palau, Papua New Guinea, the Red Sea, Vietnam, and even Western Samoa.
So up next we have our reproduction systems. Now, Placozoa typically reproduce asexually. That means it's usually going to be through binary fission. However, less likely, they've been known to do budding. And even less likely, they're not even sure how it really works, we have sexual reproduction. Now when the population density gets to be a little bit too high, they tend to start to degenerate. And when the cells degenerate in the interspace, they'll start to form eggs or oocytes and a small cell without flagella. They assume that this small cell is probably going to be something similar to our sperm equivalent, what's going to be found fertilizing the egg cell. Now this has never really quite been observed, and they're still just hypothesizing how it would work. So that's why the primary form would probably be binary fission.
In food sources, their diet consists of flagellated chromists called cryptomonas or the chlorophyte chlorella. They eat with their ventral surface, which produces digestive enzymes. Then, they contract part of the ventral surface into a sac where digestion is more efficient, meaning to say it eats via extracellular processes, but transitions into intracellular. Placozoans sort of glide on their cilia or just change shape like an amoeba.
In terms of developmental patterns, they are neither protostomes nor deuterostomes. They only have one tissue layer. They are coelomates. They have a hydrostatic support system, and they do not have cephalization, symmetry, segmentation, appendages, a nervous system, sensory organs, or a circulatory system. In terms of their life history, they're very simple organisms, which means they have no larval stages. They have not been observed to have migration, and they have an unknown lifespan because they've only been observed for 64 cell cycles within the lab. Fun fact, did you know that Placozoa have the least amount of DNA of any known animal, and they only have 6 cell types? Mammals can have up to 200 cell types, and even their close relative, the Porifera, have 10 to 20 cell types.
So for all 3 of our phylogenetic trees, the Porifera and the Placozoa were closely related. This is because they share a lot of the same characteristics. The only difference is for Placozoa, they have a hydrostatic support system and cilia for movement, while the Porifera don't move and they have an endoskeleton.
Alright, so here we have the Placozoa again, but the second closest relative we have to Placozoa is the Nigeria. Now, some things they have in common, they're both acoelomate, both of them lack sensory organs, they're both asexual, they're both hydrostatic, they both go through diffusion for their respiration, and they both have a lack of a circulatory system. However, they have some differences. Namely, Placozoa are asymmetrical, where Nigeria have a radial symmetry, 1 layer of tissue, whereas the other has 2 layers. Extracellular versus 1 opening in terms of their digestion. There's no nervous system versus a nerve net across the Nigeria. And Placozoa is neither a protozome nor a deuterosome, but here we have that the Nigeria is a protozome.
This is our first phylogenetic tree. It was constructed using our data matrix and our observations. As you can see, the Placozoa is closely related to the Porifera and the Nigeria. It is also one of the least developed taxons. This is our second phylogenetic tree. It was constructed using the 16S RNA sequences. Just like the first tree, Porifera and Cnidaria are closely related to the Placozoa. And the Placozoa is one of the least developed animals. This is our third phylogenetic tree. It was found in a recently published journal. Just like the other two trees, Placozoa is closely related to Porifera and Cnidaria and is one of the simplest animals.